I just checked in, got a sticker to put on my shirt, says VIP on it. They also gave us a sticker to put on the bag, and actually had a lovely guy helping me here in the pier, so this time around I struggled a lot less than last time. I have a feeling that this journey will be very easy, and actually if you guys are thinking of not getting the plane, just going by boat and bus, you should do it because it's easy, like it's very well organized. I feel like transport here in Thailand in general, you can organize it very well. 11, 18 currently. Very comfortable, got flags, got a blanket. I feel like I can stay on this bus forever. Good morning guys, it's the morning time and I'm ready to explore Bangkok. Bangkok is very hot. The temperature here feels even hotter than down south. I think because of the humidity and the pollution, the traffic, they all create this very dense air, which is not only very hot, but also very hard to breathe in. A few travelers who I met down south, they said, be careful with Bangkok because you might find it hard to breathe. And to be honest with you, it is true. I try not to think about it too much because the more I think about how hard it is to breathe, the harder I find it to breathe. Like, it's psychological, I know, but I have to, my nose is fully blocked and I have to take allergy tablets here every single day. I really want to go down this river canal. I could see people fishing last night here. All these colorful houses with the river view. I think I would want to go down that road, go down the river. It looks very interesting to me. So I'm trying to find a tall place, and this street was supposed to have a lot of them, but they are all closed. All the tall places. I wanted to go to Canary Travel over across the street because it had really good reviews. And that's the state of it over there. It's closed. I don't know, maybe you can't see that. Guys are offering floating market tours, but they are basically lying to you because my friend got scammed that way. Yeah, it's very busy. So this is the place where last night fishermen were catching catfish, and I managed to find some tours finally, but most of them are private tours. Most of them don't exist right now, and the ones that do, most of them are private. To be honest, so far I'm not the biggest fan of Bangkok. It's not my vibe. I don't feel relaxed. I feel constantly a bit anxious, but hey, it is what it is. I haven't seen the very popular attractions yet, so hopefully once I do, I'll maybe change my mind a little bit at least. I just got back because I needed a bit of a break from the noise, the chaos, the humidity. Just wanted to come here. because it can be very overwhelming the first time you're in Bangkok. People try to sell you fake tours, fake tickets, or even just taxi rides. If you don't say anything or you say no thank you, they'll start getting rude and aggressive, or they'll just follow you. I sat next to 7-Eleven and I started eating, and then this guy came over and he was like, don't worry, I just want to talk. Don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you something, just want to talk, just want to talk. So I was like, okay, he's saying he doesn't want to sell me something, I'm sat here eating anyway. Let's just talk. So we engaged in a pretty long conversation. He asked me, what do I do? And then afterwards I asked him, what does he do? He said, you know scam. In Bangkok, I'm a scammer. I scam tourists, selling them fake tours. You see that guy over there? And he points at the guy across the street. I work with him. We scam people together. But you are too beautiful, you are too nice, so I didn't want to scam you. We also sell them fake jewelry. And then he said to me, be careful, because there are many people like this in Bangkok. They'll try to sell you fake tours like me. Don't respond to them, avoid eye contact, avoid looking at them. Okay, so this is the part from Intravihan temple. But while I'm showing you the clips from this temple, I need to explain to you how I got there. Unfortunately, the story from my first day in Bangkok and the scammers gets worse. So much worse, in fact. If you are thinking of going to Bangkok, please listen to my story very carefully. I had a break for about 1 hour in my hotel, after which I decided to walk to the most famous temples in Bangkok, Wat Arun and Wat Po. Wat Intravihan was not the temple that I planned to see that day. Having met many travelers across my 8-week travel in the south of Thailand who have warned me about Bangkok and the scams that happened to them there, I thought I knew what to look out for, and I was aware of the most common scams that were happening there. Before I went to Bangkok, I spoke to at least 30 people who got scammed in Bangkok and told me their stories. I was determined to not get scammed, which is the reason as to why I decided to walk to the temples from my place in Khaosan using Google Maps instead of getting a taxi, as the taxi scams, as well as the temple scams, are the two most common scams in Bangkok. But what happened next completely threw my plans down the drain, as it has proven impossible for me to get to these temples on foot. While it's not even that far, there were some parts of Bangkok where it was impossible for me to cross the road. To some people who have never been to Asia, this may sound laughable, but really. At one road in particular, I walked hundreds and hundreds of meters, not being able to cross it to get any further. It was then this seemingly lovely Thai lady appeared next to me who was crossing the road and wanted to help me. She said she was a tourist from Phuket, and she knew exactly how I felt. To be honest with you, she seemed genuine, trying to help me out. But don't be fooled. She told me I can get a motorbike taxi for the whole day for 50 baht that would take me to the temples and back. Look, it's not what I wanted to do. And if it wasn't for the fact I simply wouldn't have made it to the temples without a vehicle, and the fact I was stuck in between the roads, I wouldn't have gone for it. But under these circumstances, it seemed like the safest and the most reasonable thing to do. I asked her where I could get one of these motorbike taxis from. To which she says, for example, from this guy. At that point, I didn't realize they worked together to scam, spike and rob tourists. But I still asked several times about the price. The motorbike driver kept reassuring me that the ride would only cost 50 baht for the day, and I decided to go for it. Very soon after I started the ride with him, he began to work on building my trust. Not only he was very friendly, but also he said some of his best friends are from the UK. He also started showing me pictures on his phone of many white tourists happy with his service, and even videos of them saying how they are happy that they have met him and that he is the best taxi ride in Bangkok. Of course, it wasn't long after when he asked me to take a picture with him and film a video. I said yes to the picture, but said later to the video. He then took me to Intravihan temple, as he said I need to see it, that this temple shouldn't be missed. Looking back at it, yes, there were many red flags in his behavior, but it's hard to explain the psychological process that goes behind them when they work on gaining your trust. I mean, this temple was in fact very beautiful and definitely worth seeing. And also, when we were there, he explained a lot to me about the Thai culture, Buddhist rituals, and got me involved in many of them. I loved that experience. It's very sad for me to think how this experience ended later on. It was getting late, but I of course still wanted to go to Wat Arun, which in my opinion is the most unique and beautiful temple in Bangkok. My driver said it's quite far away, as it's on the other side of the river, and that he might need to charge me more for the cost of fuel. He asked for another 50 baht. That was not a problem for me. I was planning to pay him more anyway, as 50 baht would not feel right for me to pay for the time he spent with me, introducing me to the culture and saving me from the road traffic. We got to the temple. He even took some videos of me there, as you could see. But it was then the whole experience started to be very weird for me. I wanted to part our ways at the temple. That way I would pay him, he wouldn't waste his time and fuel to get back all the way to my hotel, which was quite far away. And I wanted to stay at the temple so I could meet my online friend Sarah, who got to Bangkok earlier that day. But before I even managed to get my money out to pay him, he found the idea of me leaving him there absurd. He said he spent that day with me, took me to all the places I wanted to see, and now I want to ditch him. He told me that it was very rude and that I should have at least one drink with him. It wasn't just what he was saying that shocked me, but his facial expression and mannerism have changed drastically at that temple. He refused to take my money and he refused to leave me. I was trying to stay calm and kind, saying to him that I don't drink. He then said to at least let him take me back to the hotel so he knows that I'm safe. I've made a huge mistake here by saying yes to that offer. At first he started to drive me in the direction of my hotel, later to say that I need to accompany him for just one drink. I said no, but he said yes, I have to, and started to drive fast on his motorbike in the opposite direction. I told him to get me back to the hotel, but he wouldn't listen. This is when I freaked out and realized that I got myself in a possibly very dangerous situation. I started screaming, and as my self-defense mechanism got pretty aggressive with him, he must have somehow got scared, as he ended up turning round and driving me back to the hotel. He wouldn't say anything to me anymore. I paid him the agreed amount and left. I've noticed that I'm shaking. I told everything to my receptionist. He said I need to be very careful in Bangkok and spent ages with me, talking about different subjects, trying to make me forget about what just happened. My online friend Sarah also joined us. I told her what happened and she ended up coming to my hotel. I explored Bangkok at night with Sarah. It was okay, but I already knew I didn't feel safe there. When my local friend Sandy heard of what happened, she proposed that I stay with her and her family instead, that it will be safer. But before I left the hotel, another bad thing happened to me. I was eaten by bedbugs in the hotel the day before I was about to leave. I spent the next week with my new Thai family, who treated me like one of their own, showed me love and support, and made sure I was safe. They had given me medicine for the bites, both oral tablets and different creams, but the bites were extremely itchy and took over a month to heal. I still have a lot of scarring on my legs from that experience, which I'm sure will be my souvenir from Bangkok forever. I also couldn't believe when I've learned that no one from my new Thai family leaves the house after 8 p.m, as it's simply dangerous to walk in the area. I thought since they were locals, they found Bangkok safe, but that was far from true. It made me realize there are only a few districts of Bangkok which are considered safe, not just for tourists, but also for locals. As you can imagine, I didn't like the city of Bangkok for many reasons. However, spending the time with my friend and her family was lovely. We went to some very popular places such as Khaosan Road floating market and Chatuchak weekend market. And I also ended up exploring the most famous temples further. We have even done trips together outside of Bangkok, but that will be for another video.